Welcome, guys. Today's outing is courtesy of my son. He invited us to go on a kayak trip, and in true Juanita fashion, I went straight to YouTube to look up Morgan's Outdoor Adventure. I've only been kayaking probably less than 10 times my entire life, so I'm still nervous when I do it. I want to know what the water conditions are. Are there any dams along the way? Like, how deep is it? How rough is the water? But I cannot find anything on YouTube showing this river. There was like one video, but it was for the Morgan's Outdoor in Ohio that is closed down. So we went to the one that was in Indiana. Since I was not able to find any videos on YouTube for this particular one, I decided to make a video myself, and this video is long. Even I'm looking at it like, oh my goodness, I do not want to sit through and watch this over and over while I edit it. So what I'm going to do is do all of my talking up front, and then that way, if that's all you want is the information, you can go ahead and exit out of the video. Or if you're like me and you want to know every nook and cranny and bend of the river, you can go ahead and just stay and keep watching it. I do put captions in once I stop talking, especially with the mile markers. Those were very, very hard to see. So the stretch of the river that you will be kayaking is 7 miles long. They say to allow 4 hours to do it. It took us 4.5, and I'm going to tell you right now, I tried to stretch that out for as long as possible. It cost us $107 for the 3 of us. And let me go ahead and pause right now and insert a screenshot of the prices. Well, let me let you guys see the temperature first. Steve's about to get in the water. It was only like 69 degrees this morning, and it didn't get much warmer, but he still decided to take a few dips in this water. But okay, let me put the prices in here. Steve and I chose to rent the single kayaks, and my son brought his own, so we did a transport for his. Steve and I did not want to bring our own kayaks because it was an hour drive for us, and we would have had to take the truck, and by only having my son bring his, we were all able to carpool together with him. I am glad we did that because I've never kayaked in a sit-in kayak, or excuse me, a sit-on kayak before, so this was a new experience, and I actually liked it. I almost think I like it more than the sit-in kayaks because I felt like at least if I flipped over, I wouldn't get trapped. I would just like fall off and that's it, and I could just swim back to the top. Of course, I didn't really need to worry about falling in this river. This is the Whitewater River, and at the time of year that we went, the water depth was very shallow, so we had to port in a lot of places. There were a lot of places where it's just 3 inches, and the water's so crystal clear. You can see to the bottom in almost all of the spots. There were a couple spots that were about 3 feet deep, and how we determined that, we just took our paddle and we stuck it in until it touched the bottom, marked where the water stopped, and we pulled it out. And so that's where we're getting our estimate of 3 feet from. But even in some of those spots, the water was still so clear you could see to the bottom. We had our reservation at 10 a.m. and they asked that you get there on time, of course. Once you're in the water, there's no time limit. As long as you are back by the time they close, which I believe on weekdays is 5 p.m. and weekends is 6 p.m., as long as you're back by then, you can stay out as long as you want. So I definitely wanted to get there early in the morning so we could just take our time and enjoy it. If you would like to, you're allowed to get out at the beaches. They did tell us the beaches are private, and they said as long as you're not rowdy, the landowners usually don't say anything about it. We chose not to get out at any beaches. I thought we would maybe and have our snacks there, but later on you'll see that Steve and my son just had their snacks while sitting in their kayak. So although there's no time limit for how long you're allowed to be on the river, if you are late coming back, there are fees for that. So just keep an eye on the time. Also, you start at mile marker 20. And you're going to go to mile marker 27. If you miss that and for some reason you're not able to paddle back upstream and they have to come get you downriver, there's going to be a charge for that as well. They do take walk-ins. There's no price difference if you reserve in advance or do a walk-in. There's just the chance that there's not going to be any kayaks available for you if you do a walk-in. But you saw they did have tubes, they have rafts, they have canoes. There are a lot of options. So you probably, oh wait, no, the day we were there, when we got back in, they said they were sold out for the day. So yeah, don't take your chances. Just go ahead and reserve online. If the weather's bad, you can always reschedule. As long as it's 24 hours notice, I believe, they will give you a voucher to come back. And of course, if they have to cancel because of weather, then it's automatic. You don't have to worry about the 24-hour notice. Dogs are allowed on the kayaks and canoes, but not on the rafts or tubes for obvious reasons. Their little nails would probably put holes in them and you would sink pretty quickly. They ask that you do not bring any alcohol, glass, or styrofoam. People did have music playing, they just asked that it not be loud, so people were just having a good old time. On like later on, as we get through the video and the day started progressing, more and more people were on the river and they would get off. A lot of people had their kids out in the river. That's how calm. It's considered a class 1 river. I apologize if I already said that. So people felt comfortable letting their kids go wading in the water. If you do have little ones that obviously would not be strong enough to kayak themselves, you would probably want to rent a canoe. It'd be very easy to fit 2 or 3 little ones in there with you. That thing you see right there on my son's kayak was to prevent water from getting into his kayak. It was supposed to rain this day, and they were actually expecting storms, so I was a little nervous. It rained on our drive down there, and I asked the guy during the safety briefing, I was like, what should we do if it starts storming while we're on the river? And he just looked at me. He's like, well, you are kayaking, so you're going to get wet. But I'm like, is it even safe to be on the water when it lightnings? But I know it's not safe to be under trees, but he said the safest place to be would be on the water. Fortunately, I did not have to find out. It did not storm and it did not rain. It stayed overcast, which was actually perfect because we did not have to apply as much sunscreen. It was just a way more comfortable trip, not having to squint in the sun. And that's why you saw me in the beginning with that huge fisherman's hat on. I love my bucket hats, but this one I brought with an extra wide brim, so if it did start pouring down rain, my eyeglasses could stay dry. So definitely, I'll go over in a minute what we brought and what they recommend that you bring. Oh, Steve's getting out again in the water. I honestly was tempted myself. It was just way too cold, and I did not have a change of clothes on me in my kayak. I did have a change of clothes back at the vehicle, but not in the water. Steve wore his swimming suit. He was prepared. So I'll just pause for a moment while we watch what he wants to do. He's silly. You'll never catch me getting in river water on purpose, not to swim anyways. Which reminds me, okay, so I don't like to port. Like, I will do everything in my power to scoot my butt along while I stay in that kayak, because to me, as long as my kayak's floating, why in the world would I get off of it? You know, it's already doing its job, keeping me out of the water. So I got to this one part where the beach was on our left and you could hear the rapids, and I was already nervous to go through any rapids, and when I was looking on their website, it said, you know, it's a class 1 river with rapids. If I remember, I will put a screenshot of what their description is here. So I was a little nervous about that, but when I got there, it wasn't bad at all. Like, the sound of it was way worse than going through it, and what I realized as I went through the first rapid is that it was happening because the water level was so shallow and it was trying to go around all these little rocks that were on the ground. So I go through the rapid and I get stuck and I can't move. And even though the water is like only an inch deep, I'm still too scared to get out of my kayak to just pull it to where I can get back to floating. So I'm over here and I'm scooting and I'm using my paddles trying to push myself along. And there was a couple that was sitting on the beach, and the lady took so much pity on me. She got up and she's like, here, let me help you so you don't have to get on. She was so sweet, and she pushed me until I got back in the water. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing, but I'm also so grateful for her. But later on in the video, you will see that I did finally get brave enough to get out and actually do the port myself. Oh, here you can see the mile markers were so hard to find. I did not catch any of them. My son and Steve were the ones who kept spotting them, but don't stress about it too much because it is very obvious where you get out. And at the end of this video, I will show you where you might mistakenly try to get out versus where you actually will get out. If I were to have one complaint, is that there was nowhere to use the restroom along this stretch of the river, this 7-mile stretch. I don't know, I guess I was expecting a porta potty set up somewhere since this was like a tourist activity and not just a regular river. So do with that information what you want to do with it. I made sure I used the bathroom before I left. I was extremely lucky that I was able to make it the entire time without having to go. We didn't drink as much water as we had brought because it was overcast. I didn't even finish one full bottle. This trip was actually the day after Steve and I did that 26-mile bike ride. I posted a video about that. If you've ever ridden a bike, you know that it can hurt your bum bum. And I knew that we were going to be doing this kayak trip, and I knew that with the 7-mile kayak trip that our arms would probably get tired. So the day before I was like, let's not do any activity that requires arm strength, like playing tennis or basketball. So we went on a bike ride. And I had mentioned in that video, my legs were on fire. Like the next day, I could not even stand. Fortunately, when we went on this kayak trip, the delayed onset muscle soreness had not kicked in yet, so I was still feeling pretty good, except I was sore in places that I didn't know you could be sore after riding a bike. So I was so grateful that for my birthday, I had asked Steve to buy me this gel cushion kayak seat, and I brought that with me. I will put in a screenshot of it here when I bought it off of Amazon. That thing is a lifesaver. Normally after 2 hours of kayaking, my bottom hurts. This trip was so comfortable with using that seat. So if you're able to afford one, even like just for regular kayaking, even if it's not doing this kind of a trip, totally worth it. Something else I noticed with using that cushioned kayak seat, my lower back didn't hurt, which normally happens. And you'll see Steve in this video, he normally doesn't have his life jacket on. I honestly don't know if that's required or not, so I don't know. But you'll see later on he does have it on, even though it's not on properly, and he was mostly using it to cushion his back. I told him he should probably sit on it, probably would do more good to reduce his lower back pain. But yeah, that gel cushion seat, totally worth the purchase. As far as what we chose to bring on this kayak trip, we brought frozen water bottles to keep everything cold in our cooler. We brought the soft-sided cooler. We brought regular water, not frozen. We brought electrolyte drinks like Body Armor, Gatorade. We had snacks. We brought sunscreen, bug repellent. We had a dry bag to put all of that stuff in. We had one of those dry cases that hang around your neck that you can put your phone in. Let's see, we brought hand towels, and the reason I brought those was if we just needed to dry off real quick while we were on the kayak trip. We actually had full bath towels in the car. I just didn't want to bring too much stuff. We had our hats, and I brought sunglasses. I ended up not needing them. I brought that gel cushion kayak seat. We wore water shoes. You do have to have on closed-toed shoes, so you can't have on sandals or clogs or flip-flops or anything like that. They said either old tennis shoes or water shoes, so we brought water shoes. And we also brought throw ropes with us. We ended up not needing them, thank goodness, and the water was so shallow and the rapids were not nearly what I thought they were going to be. But it doesn't hurt to be prepared because you never know, someone else might need help, so I'm glad we did have those on us. And then back at the car, like I said, we had full-size bath towels. We brought a change of clothes, but I know next time to also bring some dry undergarments because, yeah, everything gets wet. At the end of the trip, when I got out of my kayak, I did not realize I had been sitting in 2 inches of water the entire time. So, yeah, there's that. And the dry bag you definitely want. So with the sit-on kayak, we had the part in the back where we could bungee cord stuff in. And when we got done and I pulled my dry bag out, it had also been just sitting in inches of water and not a single thing got wet inside that bag. And I also had this waterproof fanny pack. It has like 3 Ziplocs, like you know how Ziploc bags have those like closing things. So it has 3 of those, and then you roll it down and fold it. So it floats in the water, but because it's wrapped around my waist, I wasn't worried about that. So that's what I had on to keep my phone dry. If you forget to bring stuff, they do have dry bags and the phone cases for sale and where you go to check in. So there is that option. I did not check out the price, and the dry bag is pretty small. So I would just buy your own ahead of time. The only other thing I could think that I would bring next time is a rain poncho, because if it would have rained and we were going to be out there no matter what, I think I would have been a lot more comfortable being with the rain poncho on. So next time, now I know. So at this point, I'm just going to let you know where to skip ahead to. At the 21-minute, 53-second mark, I show where it can be misleading, where you think you might want to get out, but you don't. That exit spot actually belongs to another kayak rental company. So again, that was 21-minute, 53-second mark. At the 22-minute, 38-second mark, I tried to show you how calm the rapids are. Now throughout this whole video you've been seeing the rapids and you just can't tell because that's how calm they are, but that's where I will actually point out to you so you can see it. At the 24-minute 5-second mark, I tried to record video of me while I was actually in the rapids, and again, if I'm able to record, that's how calm it was. I mean, it was still moving me sideways while I was trying to record, but the whole river was doing that. And then at the 25-minute 3-second mark, I finally get out to port. You can see how shallow the water is when I do that. And there's actually another part in the video where Steve got stuck and he got out, but he was doing that throughout the river. And then the 26-minute 39-second mark is where we actually will get out. They have, at least on this day, they had a school bus there. So we were able to see the school bus, so we knew to start keeping our eyes out. And then there's a stop sign off to the side on one of the beaches where you're going to actually get out. So yeah, that's one thing that was really nice about this trip. Normally when Steve and I go kayaking, we will kayak up river first, and then that way once we start to get tired, we know we can turn around and it's going to be an easy trip back down river. So this was really nice to just be able to kayak down river, and we didn't have to worry about it. We got out and the employees took care of the kayaks. They loaded them back up. We get on a school bus. Sometimes, like on this particular day, there were just a few of us who had ended at the same time, so they let us get in the same van that was pulling the kayaks behind them. I felt bad because I was so soaking wet, and he's like, don't even worry about it. He's like, they didn't care if the van seats got wet. So yeah, it was a very, very enjoyable day. The weather cooperated for us. I don't think it got above the mid 70s. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Alright, I finally feel comfortable enough to put my paddles away and try to capture this for you guys. I'm turning sideways, floating sideways. That's what we just came from. So not too bad. Come back here. Okay. Okay. All right, let's do this.